Hello students. In the previous lesson you have already learned about the development of dicot embryo. Today you are going to learn about the development of monocot embryo. As you can see in the diagram here, this zygote is formed soon after fertilization, and just like that of the dicots you have already learned, this is also a diploid. Okay, this zygote also has some polar organization. That is, one is the micropylar end, that is here, and one is the chalazal end. Okay, but the thing is that here, unlike dicots, zygote undergoes mitotic divisions to form three cells, as you can see here. Now, how these three cells are formed? At first, the zygote undergoes transverse divisions to form two cells, and out of these two cells, one cells divide to form two cells. So a total three cell is formed. The cell formed towards the micropylar end, that is here, this is known as the basal cell. Now this basal cell does not undergo any further division. It just gets bigger in size eventually. On the other hand, the cell that is formed towards the chalazal end is known as the terminal cell. And the middle one that you can see here, this is known as the middle cell, thus resulting in the formation of three cells. This does not happen in dicot. Now, if you remember the structure and formation of dicot embryo, you have seen that the basal cell undergoes successive divisions to form the suspensor cell. This one. Now, here in monocots, this suspensor cells which I just said, this does not divide. Now what is its function? It helps in the absorption of the nourishment of the embryo. Here this basal cell only enlarges in size, as you can see in the diagrams. Now the terminal cell, this one, it divides transversely forming the two cells. The two cells once again divide vertically forming quadrants. The quadrants divide transversely forming the octants, and the 8-celled, they are arranged in two tiers of 4 cells each, and by periclinal division the dermatogen is formed. If you see the picture over here, you can understand the successive divisions. Now all these regions formed from the octant, it develops into a single terminal cotyledon afterwards, as it is a monocot. Now the middle cell, this one, what is its function? It actually divides and give rise to radicle, plumule, epicotyle, hypocotyle, and even suspensor cells. Now the names of this plumule and radicle will be slightly different, unlike dicots. Now let's see the structure here. In this diagram, you are going to see the different fates of the embryo. Okay, now the plumule that is being formed over here, this is covered by sheath, and that is why it is known as coleoptile. And the radicle is also covered by a sheath, and that is why it is known as coleorhiza. Slightly different names. In dicots, we used to say it as radicle and plumule, but in monocots, we say it as coleorhiza or coleoptile, as they are covered by sheaths. As you can see in the diagram here, these cotyledons are thin and papery, and such cotyledons are found in grasses, and specially they are known as scutellum. Okay, now after this thing is formed, the suspensor cell and the basal cell, they are going to degenerate. Okay, now after degeneration of these two parts which I just mentioned, that is the suspensor and the basal cell, the structure that you can see is just like this. It is the picture of a maize grain. In the maize grain, you are going to see a small compartment here, and here the epithelial cells are present. Okay, so there are two compartments. One is the larger compartment, this one, and the smaller compartment, this one. The larger compartment here, the outer part, this one, is made up of protein layer, and it is also known as aleuron layer. It is basically a proteinaceous endosperm. And the middle part, this part, it is starchy by nature, and that is why it is known as starchy endosperm. The embryo is present in the small area of the complete grain. Now cotyledon here that is marked, as you can see, is very thin and papery. The reserved food material here is almost negligible. And now the most obvious question is, if the cotyledons do not have any kind of reserved food material, then why it is present? What is its function? Now, whenever the endosperm, this one, it is digested with the help of, it may be phytohormones or enzymes that is being released, this digested part is going to come to the cotyledon first, and this cotyledon will help in sending this digested part to the embryo here. So that is why we call it as cotyledon, and it has some kind of significance for its existence. So this is how the development of monocot embryo takes place. In the next lesson, we are going to learn about seeds and fruits. Thank you.